Hello everyone, Jameson, Alex, Urge Time. New video, we'll call it a mini-series, I guess. Sure. Starting off with our top 5 most interesting common magic items. And when you think of common magic items, obviously these things are not going to be your game-breaking +3 weapons, your moon blades, your level 9 spell scrolls and artifacts. So these are going to be mostly quirky stuff, fun stuff, or Definitely. If they are useful, it's probably going to be a one-off thing, very short, quick, because they are common. They're things that are found pretty regularly.
Right. So before we get started, we have to mention our one and only honorable mention because it's just too epic, too dramatic.
As with all top whatever lists, there's always that one that doesn't quite make the cut.
So the first one, right off the bat, we have from Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the Cloak of Billowing.
Oh, yes.
While wearing the cloak, you can use a bonus action to make it billow dramatically.
Oh.
Okay, I just have to say this. I just imagine, because it actually uses your bonus action.
Right.
It
right.
So
not a free action or anything.
Exactly.
It's not at will.
That how you will. I just imagine someone with a cloak on, and they're like, DM, can I use my bonus action for dramatic flair? And then I just picture in the actual world, someone just standing there and then using their arms and just doing it because they're doing a bonus action, right? They're just making it billow themselves.
Or they've got some little hireling back there, like some halfling hireling back there shaking the back.
Unseen servant.
That would be the practical way to do it. Yeah.
So we had to bring that up just because it's great.
Pure for entertainment value, nothing else. So, onto the actual list. And these aren't necessarily ranked in the order.
Right.
They're just after a lot of discussion and research, these were our 5 favorite, most interesting common magic items. Starting with the Clockwork Amulet out of Xanathar's Guide to Everything. This copper amulet contains a tiny interlocking gears and is powered by magic from Mechanus, a plane of clockwork predictability. A creature that puts an ear to the amulet can hear a faint ticking and whirring noises coming from within. When you make an attack roll while wearing the amulet, you can forego rolling the d20 to get a 10 on the die. Once used, the property cannot be used again until the next dawn. So once per long rest. So it's a free, basically reliable talent if you are a rogue player, but instead for an attack roll. Right. So it's one of those things where it is a once per day, but if you're level 1, level 2, and you've got this little guy, and you come across you're in combat, you figured out kind of what the AC is based on what you hit and what you've missed. You want to make sure you get that damage in.
I mean, even at higher levels, it's not the worst because it's not attuned or anything.
Right.
So
also doesn't require attunement.
It's a 10 roll, but when you get higher levels, you're getting like plus 7, 8, 10, 11 to hit, or whatever. It's like someone's AC, and you're really trying to make sure you get that sneak attack in or something. It's not even that bad at higher levels.
10 plus 9 to hit's a 19 to hit. That's going to hit a lot of things, even at higher levels.
Then moving on, we have another item, this time from Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, one of the newer books on here. Mm-hmm. The Breathing Bubble. This translucent bubble-like sphere has a slightly tacky outer surface, and you gain the item's benefits only while wearing it over your head like a helmet. The bubble contains 1 hour of breathable air. The bubble regains all expended air daily at dawn. So you just get a little bubble mask, bubble helmet. But I just imagine, too, it says it's like slightly tacky on the outer surface. You put it over your head, and it's like, I just imagine as you use it, it gets closer to your face.
So you're claustrophobic. You play a claustrophobic character.
I'm running out of air. You can literally
you can actually
see it. Yeah. So I think that's great too.
Next up on our list is Boots of False Tracks. This was the first one I came across that I was like, oh, this has got to be on the list. Only humanoids can wear these boots. While wearing the boots, you can choose to have them leave tracks like those of another kind of humanoid of your size. So it could be great if you're, especially like in a political intrigue kind of thing, or if you got a lot of hunting and tracking and things like that going on in your campaign. Somebody's maybe chasing you, but you're after a Goliath, and all of a sudden, this is not a Goliath. Them furball tracks going the other way. That's not who I'm after. I just where my Goliath tracks go. So doesn't require any attunement or anything, but it's a fun little niche use item that could be played with for comedic effect or for actual effect.
Definitely has some practical use to that if you're being chased or something, for sure.
Yep.
And then I have on the next one here. This is actually interesting because it's comes from Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden.
Right, so one of the newest items we could find.
And with this, too, to keep in mind, is with some of the adventure books, even if you don't run modules like that, they can sometimes have interesting things in them,
right?
Like monsters or magic items or things
spells.
like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things tie directly into the campaign story. Like, I think with some of the Descendant to Avernus stuff, it's like, this item is named for this thing and it unlocks this door, but there are other stuff that are more open-ended like this, the Lantern of Tracking. And with this item, it is a hooded lantern, burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. And the thing that we like about this one in particular is that there's different variations to it.
Right.
So it says each Lantern of Tracking is designed to track down a certain type of creature, which is determined by rolling on the table, or if you're a DM, you just choose which you want to give the players.
Sure.
Once determined, the creature type can't be changed, so it's only used for that type of creature.
Right.
While the lantern is within 300 feet of any creature of that type, its flame turns bright green. Lantern doesn't pinpoint the exact location, however, so you just know when it lights up that something is relatively close, 300 feet away. It makes me think, too, of, like, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Sting,
yeah. With the orcs.
Obviously the best example of that.
So some of the ones on here for the Lantern of Tracking, we have aberrations, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, giants, monstrosities, or undead. And the thing I like about this too as a DM is you can tell the players, maybe it's in a campaign where one of these things is not very common,
right?
But they're going somewhere and they're like, if this turns green, you better run. You know, so so you can use it as like a ploy, like they're making their way and everything's fine and calm or everything, and all of a sudden just it flicks green and they're like, we need to go.
We need to hide or something. Yeah.
So you can use it as like an RP thing.
Yeah,
because they kind of keep that fear in the back of their mind.
Right. They're on some kind of like a recon mission, or like maybe they're trying to gather some kind of crafting material, but there's dragons freaking roaming the area.
Yes.
So you're like, go get what you need to get. But if that turns green, you either need to lay low or just go ahead and get out and try another day.
Yeah, so I think there's lots of cool potential from a DM perspective and player perspective on this one.
Yeah, and again, just a common item. So again, some of this stuff, if you see common, you might skip over it. There's some fun things here. And finally, because based on its inspiration in our brains, we could not skip the Pot of Awakening. If you plant an ordinary shrub in this 10-pound clay pot, it grows, and let it grow for 30 days. The shrub magically transforms into an awakened shrub at the end of that time. When the shrub awakens, its roots break the pot, destroying it. The awakened shrub is friendly towards you. Absent commands from you, it does nothing. And if you can, on your own validity, figure out where this inspiration coming from, I mean, it's Baby Groot, y'all. We've got Baby Groot in a magic item. And just to get an idea, the awakened shrub is a CR of 0, so you're not propping out some big angry creature. He's just got armor class of 9, hit points of 10, but he actually does have an attack.
Hey.
+1 to hit.
Yes.
And 1d4 -1 slashing damage.
So minus...
And it's vulnerable to fire damage, and it resists piercing damage.
How much health does he got? 10?
10 hit points.
10 hit points. That's a big boy right there. I love it. It's so great. You just have like a little, it's your little party mascot.
Pretty much.
Just have him right on your shoulder.
So. I think, or you could maybe use him as a little like scout, because one language known by its creator, so it can communicate, or at least it understands the wording of its creator.
Right.
At the very least, so you could like maybe give it a little command of like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
You commission some work from a blacksmith. It's like you stand right there and you freak him out until he gets the job done. And you sit there just...
Yes.
Pure fun entertainment, for sure.
Yes, definitely some interesting, more flavorful. And when you get in the lower magic items, they're going to be more flavorful than anything. They have some, sometimes have some uses to them, but... Yeah. They can definitely be a lot of fun and add a lot of like some variety and spice and some laughter to some campaigns on here. So those are our top 5 picks for our common magic items. Mm-hmm. We're planning to go through the items.
All the rankings.
We'll get through here on some of these. Some of them more interesting than others, different levels of rarities, mechanically versus thematically on there. Mm-hmm. So Stay tuned for all of those. If you enjoyed the video, guys, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so all of our new videos are coming out. Let us know in the comments down below what you want to see from us, what your favorite items are.
Yeah.
And as always, guys, thanks for watching.